If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to the Scene Snobs Podcast. And we are pre-recorded because we're hanging out today. I have the flu, but I'm here for you. That's all right. Yeah, I'm fine. I get over it.
That's miserable, Mick. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. Like, I've just been kind of laid out, chilling. The van wouldn't start when I had to go pick up Jack today. I was like, so I had to get that towed to get looked at. It was just maniac time, man. So, like, it's okay. I mean, shit happens. Knock on wood. It's nothing major. Still really expensive, but like maybe a battery or something.
Right.
The dude ran the test and he said the alternator looked good and stuff like that. So the roadside assistance, which are the best guys I've ever talked to, roadside assistance wise. Oh man. And I want to make sure it's okay to share his business first, because I would just do it for free. But I don't want to throw it out there. But I did talk to the guy, and I'll let you guys know in the next one.
There we go.
Otherwise, if you guys are looking for a great tow company in the near the Panhandle of West Virginia, in the Winchester area of Virginia, come down and hit me up, and I'll let you know what they are, because they're fantastic. That's what I'll say.
But we hope you don't break down. But it is the holidays, so you might break down around there. So just in case.
You just reminded me it's the holiday.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's all good.
This is my day. This is just my day. That's how my day goes. So I say, how's your day?
It's good. It's trying to get back on a weird sleep schedule because I start working 1 a.m. to noon starting tomorrow. So it's been trying to get back in that groove, which initially changing it is always, it's that first day you're always like, I'm not going to do it. And I didn't accomplish too much sleeping today, but it'll be all right. After tomorrow, I'll definitely be like, okay, now it's time to go to bed, and then I'll be back. But I'm excited. It'll be fun. I like that warehouse job and simple stuff, man. Be delivering all y'all's Christmas packages and Black Friday orders.
I'll say that about you. You've always said that, though. That's why your serial killer shtick doesn't land with me, because and I know you hate Christmas and everything else, but you love the great things about Christmas. I can see it in your heart that you love the gifts to kids. You love seeing the joy in their faces. You love playing it up. I see it all the time, even with Halloween, all that stuff. So I do think, Paul, that you do have some sort of appreciation for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that appreciation should be there for you, because you help out. So thank you.
Tried. Welcome. No problem. And if you hear that, Dr. Wendell, that's a good character witness right there, just in case you're watching these now.
What? Well, now I'm changing my mind. Jesus. Oh, we were having a pretty good conversation before we started. I wanted to kind of retouch on it. We were talking about Tony Todd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just how heartbreaking it's been. Rest in peace, Tony Todd, and our condolences to his family. I've talked to his sister. I knew her a little bit through Facebook and at conventions and stuff. And I just that's heartbreaking, and my heart goes out to you guys. It was so amazing. Yeah. This one hurts a lot, actually.
I was hoping it was fake when I first saw it. I was hoping it was just one of those tabloid things, just a little clickbait type things, and then be like, nah, he's not. And then so I had to look around, and I was like, God.
I'm gonna tell you something. You know why I know? I'm not talking anything else. Listen, I don't want to make anyone mad. I'm not talking about vaccinations. I'm not talking about anything like that. All I'm saying is I knew COVID was real because those hoaxes really stopped.
That is true.
Since then, there really have been no hoaxes.
You're not wrong. Now that you say that. Huh.
So that for me was that barometer of this is real. Now I don't know what all the numbers. Listen, Mr. President, don't, please. Long time follower, first time caller. I'm just kidding. But no, like seriously though, but not as anything political or anything like that, but the barometer for that of there actually being a sickness, because once those reports really started kicking in, I'm not saying they haven't been there, but not on that wide scale.
Yeah. And now that honestly, that's kind of eye-opening. I'm like, oh shit, but I've kind of been staying away from searching through certain feeds just because of the climate of everybody right now, and I'm letting everyone get all their views out and their opinions, which are all valid, you guys. I'm not saying no one's is more than yours or yours don't matter, but I just don't want to see everybody's right now. I'm just trying to take care of myself and work and enjoy my Snob Nation friends and talk about movies.
That's it. I've been enjoying myself. I deactivated Facebook, but I didn't deactivate Facebook after the election day. I deactivated Facebook on election day. Why? Because I was like, you know what? Whoever wins, this will not go well. Yeah. So I deactivated it. And normally I've always had like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I know I've talked about this before and stuff, but like it's been a solid, what has it been, like a week?
Yeah.
I have not had any desire. I got Messenger to talk to you, got Messenger to talk to the guys. Nope. I don't need anything else. And it's been so freeing because I don't really visit anything else as often. So like I haven't had to deal with any political stuff. I turned off every time something pops on. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to know anything. Not right now. I'm allowed to be ignorant for a little while. If there's so many that can be ignorant, I'm allowed to be ignorant for a little while. And you know what? Feel good. I can start make my let's make horror R-rated again hat and not have eggs thrown at me.
Heck yeah.
I'm like, read it first.
You wear a red hat, you're just a target. Get him first, then ask questions later.
I'm surprised that the Washington Nationals haven't decided, hey, let's make it like blue with a red brim. No, Braves, right. Okay. It'd be interesting. It'd probably be ugly as sin, but I'd like to see it. It's like an all red hat with like a blue brim.
We should do that.
I don't know. I like my black hats. I have to get a new hat. I want to get you one too, but I want to get this embroidered in for.
Yes.
So that's my next steps.
I want a fitted hat with that on there.
Oh yeah.
I like fitted.
I would get like no, I'm not gonna get you the poor guy's hat. No.
Thank you.
I have about 1,000 trucker hats upstairs.
Hell yeah.
So I don't even hear it. I even have one that's, what is his name? Marshmallow?
Yeah.
It's like a face spray painted on there or something. My kid got it from a carnival and I saw him ended up with it on Father's Day. So
hell yeah.
Carnival hat.
There you go. It's a good memory. I've only been to Carnival as a kid. That's never been a thing for me as an adult.
It is not fun when you're an adult.
It's too expensive. That's all I hear everyone bitch about. They're like, food's expensive, tickets are expensive, kids fucking everywhere. And I'm like,
I'll go to the fairs because the fairs will have some cool shows like demolition derbies, and monster trucks, and tractor pulls. They'll have the petting zoos. Like the fairs are great. I mean, I don't know. I'm not explaining anything new to you. But I'm not explaining anything new to anybody in the South. State fairs are pretty legit. So yeah, I love going to those, but I also really enjoy the county fairs. It's very cool to see the communities out and stuff like that. So that's been cool. I'm excited. I want to go back out to one. I always love them because I do love the food too. It's a little bit different than just going to a carnival.
The food though, yeah, you're not wrong about that.
Oh man,
that's a food truck they need to do is one that just sells everything you could get at the fair year round. That's it.
That would be pretty. No, that'd be terrible. I can't do it anymore. I'll die.
We're all gonna die. Just enjoy the ride.
I don't want to die now.
You don't have to.
Like to hold out. Maybe hold a grandkid once in a while.
There you go. Jesus.
Not at 42. Life to live. Oh man, no. It's pretty funny. Listen. You're right though. It should exist for younger. Have I ever told you about the grease trucks from Rutgers up in Jersey?
You have not. What the fuck? I don't even know what you're talking about.
It'd be an amazing ride. So Rutgers University is up in New Jersey. It's in New Brunswick, New Jersey. It's a good school. It's been there forever. We used to go and party there all the time, like in high school and just out of high school. But they had the grease trucks, the world famous Rutgers grease trucks. And it was just like a barrage of different grease trucks. And now each grease trucks, they had their falafels, they had all the little shit you could get. But every single one of them offered what was called the fat sandwich. There are many versions of the fat sandwich, and they are all named, right? And they all have something different in them. And I'm going to tell you, we spent many a night up there just really enjoying and having such a great time with them. And I know that sounds weird, but I'm going to tell you, here is my favorite fat sandwich. All right, let me pull it up real quick. What are we at? 12.
Oh, I get to see it too.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull it up for you. So we're at 12:20. 12. Oh, are you hungry? Here we go. Fat sandwiches. Okay. Pull up the fucking menu. It's just gonna make me hungry, fuckers.
Yeah, I'm hungry right now.
So here we go. All right, and we're kicking off at. Let me pull it up. Share. Okay. And we'll kick it off at 13. All right, so this is the menu. Well, this isn't the menu. This is Are You Hungry? It is the original fat sandwiches, but I personally thought the grease trucks did it best. And there's a place called Jimmy's. I don't know if it's still open, but they did it really great. Did them really great too. So the fat sandwiches were basically called by different names, and they had a variation of different ingredients in them. And I'm going to read some of these off to you. This is the first, the Fat Cat. Okay, double cheeseburger. Lettuce, tomato, French fries, mayo, and ketchup, all in the sandwich.
Yes, sir.
Then you have the Fat Sam, which is the cheesesteak, grilled chicken. So cheesesteak, not grilled chicken cheesesteak. Cheesesteak and grilled chicken, lettuce, tomato, French fries, mayo, and ketchup. The Fat Darryl, chicken fingers, mozzarella sticks, French fries, and marinara sauce, all in one sandwich.
Sounds good as fuck.
My favorite right here of all time, I used to get this all back in the day, but it was not always called this, the Fat Beach, right? But it used to be called the Fat Bitch.
Okay.
They had to change it because of stupid people. Cheesesteak, chicken fingers, mozzarella sticks, French fries, lettuce, ketchup. Imagine that. Oh my God, I love that sandwich. These were the best sandwiches. And everyone served a variation of them. We used to go to Mr. C's. Mr. C's was like a red truck. That's all I remember. But he made the best fat bitch. Like we would all go all over. Like, some of us would go over here, some of us go over here. Mr. C's was mine. That's where I went. Oh, I love Mr. C's. Like get that, like a Sprite. You sit on the hood of your car, watch the sorority girls walking by, the other college girls. And now, mind you, I realize I'm 42 now. But when this happened, I was 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, like stuff like that. Like, so, and yes, I did drink when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, because I was very tall and I could grow a beard. I could grow stubble. So they served me because they thought I was a college student. So
that's awesome.
Great back in the
This
day,
is great memories. Now I want to go. I want that number 5, Fat Cocoa, or whatever that one was called.
Fat Cocoa.
That'd be my go-to. I can already tell you right there.
I would. Well, man, I'm not going. I'm done. But I'll never eat that again. It's not like they made it here. I'm like, I'm gonna go do that. Like that's a terrible decision for me to eat any of those things. A, on their own.
Right.
B, together as a meal. Right. Let alone C, in a sandwich. God, man. But I loved them back in the day, man.
I get that.
Oh. And they don't
ain't no different down here in the South. Brisket is not good for you whatsoever, but I'd love to eat that a lot more. Or chicken liver, for that matter. Either of those two.
I don't think I could do chicken liver. I've had it. I just didn't like it. I don't know.
Hey, I get it. It's good. It's a weird consistency. I'm kind of surprised I like it, but
oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. My apologies.
No, you're good. Oh, you're good. I was just saying, because I'm picky about food, but typically meats. There has yet to be a meat someone's presented to me where I'm like, nah. So chicken liver is still
fair. I get that. I don't know why this like certain tastes for me. I do love brisket, but it has to be a really good brisket.
Okay.
If it's a shitty brisket, I'm not gonna like. And you know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not getting a good brisket certain places. But I also like the smoked sausage, like the Texas. Yes. Oh my God, that is, if done right. Oh, we went to, was it City Barbecue down there?
Yes, we did. Yes.
Man, I can verify too that is not what made me sick that second year or third year, whatever year I was there. And I got sick because I had it. I was like, I got to do process of elimination. What do I cut out first? I was like, all right, I got to cut out Pam's Farmhouse, which I adore, but I had to. And now I realize after cutting out all those things, I have to cut out gluten.
Oh, okay. So the real killer. There it is.
Yep. So like now doing all that, like, but yeah, that was the one I had to cut that out. But like I love a good brisket. I love good smoked sausage. I'm excited for when you come. I hope we have a place near us that I think we have a lot of places near us that I think you probably like. So.
Now, I ain't trying to get too personal on here, but how is Thanksgiving looking with you cutting out gluten? Like, did you change a lot, or are you just personally just going to eat different and it's not really changing what's on the menu?
I've been eating different. Like, I'll have some turkey. Or we're either doing turkey or ham. We switch off.
Okay.
So if it's ham this year, then it was ham at Christmas last year. So it'll be turkey this year. So it's something like that. So that's how we do it. Just to kind of keep it fresh. Right. There's plenty of stuff that's going to be there that has no gluten in it that I'll be fine with. Like, I don't need the stuffing.
Right.
We do like a smoked turkey. So like, I don't want to do, I actually might do a deep fried turkey this year.
Heck yeah.
So kind of feeling that one a little bit, but yeah, one thing I'm sad, it was a tradition every year, but I can't do it anymore, is the gobbler from Wawa. Now, if you don't know Wawa, it's the greatest place on earth. It's better than Sheetz.
Get the fuck out.
Wawa. Have you ever been to a Wawa? Have you
ever?
Then what did you get in the Wawa?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you. Some garbage. I get the same. I get the same thing from Sheetz though. Like, I'm not saying Sheetz is better food wise. You know what I mean?
Wawa
I just got a piece of pizza or something. Nah, I like my Sheetz better. My employees are nicer.
Well, I mean, they are more north. It's hard. Yeah. I mean, they might be nice in Virginia. You go north. You run a risk.
Better.
The more north you go, the more stabby the Wawas get.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah,
but I've never been in danger of being stabbed at a Sheetz. Sure.
Yes.
Liar.
No, probably every time, because it's where all the homeless hang out for now. Plus,
oh yeah. I mean, I don't blame them. You hear Sheetz and you think like blankets.
Yep. You're stupid.
I do a little. Come on, a little one. Just a little one. All right. I can't listen. The whole world's burning. I'm just saying offensive shit now. I don't care. I guess. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I am voice boxing when I say this. This is all hyperbolic, people, and I'm not saying this to you, Paul. We talk, but I don't want to talk politics. I don't want to do any of that stuff, but I do like poking, and I'm not poking. I'm not even poking at you. Like, I do like poking in general, and for me, like, when I say the world is burning, it's all hyperbolic. The day is still going on. Yeah. And my thing is now is like, okay, I'm sick, right? Now, yeah. For me, it's like, okay, so I'm sick and I have to think about that. And then and I take care of myself. And then the car doesn't work, so I have to take care of that. I don't give a fuck what's happening outside of this town right now.
Right.
And it's such a joy. So like when I say when I say the world is burning, I realize the world is turning and it's fine and I'm good. Here. Other countries, not getting into that either, but you know what I mean.
Yep. Now, what's your go-to flu medicine? Do you have a go-to? Like, you're like,
take a NyQuil and passing the fuck out, dude.
Okay, that's fair.
I have nothing, and supposedly they're taking stuff off of. They're taking cough syrup off the shelves and saying because they're saying it's never worked. It's never done anything.
Oh, it's done something.
I mean, they think it was just the codeine was making you pass out. The alcohol and the codeine was just making you pass.
Yeah, which triple C's was the thing. Fuck yeah.
Not arguing. Like, I'm fairly certain some type of Irish whiskey had been rubbed on my gums when I was a baby. I'm pretty sure like a lot of my Irish elders who were taking care of me a lot probably did that because they always had some Irish whiskey on them.
Yeah. I won't name any names, but Mom. Totally.
And I'm an alcoholic now. So thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
Fuckers. What is
I didn't know they're taking cough syrup off though, but I've never been a cough syrup guy, not since the triple C days. So it's mainly been Alka-Seltzer cold and flu is my go-to to knock out a flu.
I'm gonna try that.
I swear by that. Oh my God, Mick. It like the first time you take it, I still sleep good, but I'll probably feel like 40% better after just the first 2 tablets I dissolve and drink.
I'm down.
Like it's good. It tastes like shit. I'll tell you that. I don't mind it because I just chug it down. But like Sam or Matt, they're like, this tastes. I'm like, it's not meant for taste. It's medicine, you guys. Like, you feel better.
Can we take a moment and pause, and I'll just chug it down? Please tell me you're doing at least 30 milliliters. Like that's it. That or most doing 30 milliliters.
Yes.
Paul's gonna be late for work one night by like 3 months because he just is in a coma from codeine.
Oh, triple C's, man. Did you guys ever do that, or was that more of my generational's bullshit of?
What is triple C?
Like just drinking a shit ton of Robitussin and just staying awake and fighting it and all that. Has that always been a thing? Okay.
Well, when I was, it was a joke in like some movie too. I can't remember. It was in like one of the comedies. But yeah, we used to do this too. Ambien. Okay. Take an Ambien and try and fight it. Yeah. Most of the time, I didn't really do that shit because I was drunk anyway and having fun. I was like, I'm not really a drug guy. So like I'm not gonna say I haven't done it, you know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it wasn't really for me. But the cough syrup was high school. You know, that stuff like, there's stuff like this, and like, yeah, I mean, I could drink. So like the cough syrup is pretty good back in the day. Yeah. But yeah, now that got depressing.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Let's take a stroll back in time. Let's talk about the topic we came up with, and that is going to be the video formats over the years. I want to talk about physical media. Yes. So I want to take us on a journey through the time, if you will. And I'm going to bring up, and I'm going to talk it out for all of our lovely podcast listeners. Love you. But if you're watching on the video or seeing it on the clip later or something, basically, here's what's happening. So it started in 1975. And now this is really just, I'm talking about the physical media. Yeah, we talk about the reels, owning 16 millimeter, all that stuff. Yes. Even I've owned them 8 millimeter, the whole lot. I want to start with the real at home physical media and where it really became into mass production. And of course, in 1975, we start with Betamax, a little bit bigger than a cassette tape. Analog video format developed by Sony, inspired the later Betacam professional format, which is I don't know if it's standard anymore. I haven't worked in a newsroom in a very, very, very long time. But deck to deck, that was the standard there. Again, very, very long time. 1976, the VHS. A year later comes out. Analog video recording on a tape cassette beat Betamax to become the dominant format for home analog video. Let's keep that in mind because this happens a lot through our journey of discovery of what was coming out and why some dominated and some didn't. I'd love to talk about that. So, Laserdisc in 1978, analog video that was read via laser stored on a 12-inch disc. These things are pretty crazy. They looked like vinyl. They had some great cover art, dude, for the movies. And then I remember the I didn't know it was called capacitance, but I remember CED, but electronic disc. The capacitance electronic disc CED is an analog video disc playback system developed by RCA, in which the video and audio could be played back on a TV set using a special needle with a high density groove system, similar to the phonograph records. Now I know I didn't take off. I knew people who owned them, but I didn't I've only really ever watched Laserdisc in that format, in that similar. Then, of course, in 1987, we jumped from 1981 all the way to 1987. And in this time, the VHS is the dominant factor. And that is why Sony camcorders, Sony Handycam Pro CCD V90E, which was manufactured in 1987, used Video A, an analog format. I had a Panasonic. Well, I didn't have a Panasonic. I had a Panasonic. I believe it was Panasonic. I don't think it was a Sony. Tape, videotape recorder. And that was what Jurassic Campgrounds was filmed on, just a couple of shots. My first movie I ever wrote after I watched Jurassic Park, and I went home and I wrote Jurassic Campground. That's awesome. 11. Yeah, that's what started me. Jurassic Park was the one that started me on wanting to become a filmmaker. I always loved movies and the behind the scenes, but that was when I was like, yep, I want to make people feel like I just filmed.
Do you happen to have any of that footage still? Like, I know you probably don't want to show all of it, but okay.
We used to have tons of home footage videos. My dad was all about it. Like tons
That's
of stuff.
awesome.
He even transferred the like the 8mm and the 16mm over to VHS.
Right.
I don't know where anything is except for one. But I only had it because I can't, like, looking around trying to find it and I can't remember where I put it. And here's why. It's home videos. You're never gonna see it because actually this isn't. I don't think I have it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, I don't think. Maybe I'll find it after you leave.
That's fair. That's
I'm
understandable.
gonna tell you what's on it because I don't want you to come to my house and be like, I want to watch this tape. Let's go to the tape. No, all right, I'll just say it. It was me. I played Conrad Birdie in a Bye Bye Birdie play, and it was recorded.
Hell yes.
And
that's
it was
awesome.
terrible. They didn't even let me sing. I had to lip sync because I can't sing. That was pretty devastating because I like singing.
I did Godspell, and I think there's a video somewhere of me pissing myself when the demons come out because they're wearing Ghostface, and I got scared as a kid. Just pee. You just see my jeans just dark, just piss. It's out there somewhere.
Your teacher of that play must have been an ensemble cast on Broadway, because who would make kids do Godspell outside of fucking band camp?
Oh, I love Godspell. I still sing that shit in my head here and there. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I like Godspell, but like a whole cast of kids.
Yeah,
that's a lot. That's intense. So yeah, I wish I had that footage. And it really wasn't footage. It was like I set up like a bunch of like pieces of what do you call it? Was it bushes? I ripped out a couple pieces of bushes, put them down in front of me to make them kind of look like the tops of trees, and I put his toy T-Rex behind it, like it was poking out over the trees. And then I like lifted it up on like a mound of sand, and then like this is where I got in trouble because I wasn't supposed to put the camera on the ground, but whatever. But I did, and so then I kind of shot up like we were looking at it, and then I did another one with a Stegosaurus, but I did it on a bench because I had gotten in trouble. So I did it on a bench, but in the background of the campground I was filming at had really cool like skyline with the trees and such. So, and there was like an island. Well, I shouldn't say there's an island, but it was like there was like a lake, and then that led off into a river, and there was another side. So I put it up on this railing, and I filmed back a little bit to make it look like it was as big on the island, just force perspective. And yeah, that I think those were the two shots I did.
Fuck yeah, that's cool as shit, Nick. That's smart.
Thanks, man. I mean, not bad for an 11-year-old. But yeah, and then I wrote the whole 90-page script in a marble notebook. No, so
damn. And
then can you guess why it was 90 pages?
A,
because that's an hour and a half, and I thought that's what generally movies were. I was a stupid kid, and also because there's only 90 pages in. So when I realized I had like less time I wish I had that. I don't know. That might be lost forever. I had a bunch of notebooks with a bunch of writing in them, and I couldn't even think about where they are.
All right.
So like that's a little heartbreaking because that was fun. That was a fun one to write. Anyway, 10 years later, in 1997, the DVD video comes out. It is a digital MPEG-2 video format and Dolby Digital or Digital Theater System (DTS) audio format stored on a DVD. You used to get the bootlegs on these, baby.
Yes, sir.
That was the cool part. Yeah, like that's why to me, bootlegs and porn are why VHS and just mess so easy to do. And that video camcorder is what made bootlegs possible.
Yes.
And I'm not endorsing bootlegs, but when I say DVD bootlegs, I used to have to hoof it to the conventions, and it's because you ban these great movies in this movie. These are foreign films, horror films you couldn't find anywhere, stuff we were looking for. Like, so yeah, they were bootlegs, but listen, back in the day, you had to do. I didn't do bootlegs of like the new stuff as it was coming. Then you get to 2003, the dual disc. That's right. Where you can put it on either side. HD DVD in 2005. Digital uses video format. Well, VC-1 H.264/MPEG-4. Which anyway, ABC. We haven't changed much. Is sort of where I'm going with it. H.262 MPEG. I don't care. And then we get to 2006, which is easier. It's easier, Paul. is the Blu-ray.
Always is.
Digital, Dolby Blu-ray, True HD. And then not much has changed since. They had the slot music, let's buy. Blue Spec CD, buy. And Ultra Blu-ray HD. So
heck yeah.
So I will say this. I 100% agree that physical media, all the winners in physical media is because of porn. 100%. If porn chooses it, that's why Blu-ray beat HD DVD.
Yeah.
I remember that. Do you remember that? You were kind of young.
A little bit. Yeah.
And HD DVD came out. Everybody was like freaking out. Like, you got to get this. But then and I didn't get it. But then Blu-ray came out a year later. And they were selling Blu-ray players. And everybody's just kind of like, oh, which one's going to last? Which one's going to last? And I like the color blue. That is the only reason I picked Blu-ray. I like the color blue. So I got a Blu-ray player. And then, I just thought it was great. I didn't love HD DVD. I especially didn't love. There's something about HD DVD on plasma TVs where the blacks just, I don't know. Because on a plasma TV, the blacks can look great, but the HD DVD is just too much. So I loved Blu-ray coming out, and porn picked, and a reason porn picked Blu-ray is because PlayStation. When they put the Blu-ray. So
play PS2, yes sir.
Or no, that actually might be reversed. I have to go back and double check. I thought it went that way, but it might be that porn picked, and then PlayStation was like, all right, we'll go Blu-ray.
Yeah. So I think it was PS2. You could have Blu-ray.
Yep, because because VHS stores, VHS players, VCRs as we know, they were like $4,000 in 1981.
Jesus.
And people were buying them. They were taking out ones to get them because, and I get why, because it's now people can feel, and the video store starting and everything else. That's pretty amazing technology to have. Now I have a movie theater at my house.
Right.
And it's so crazy to me. I mean, what's your favorite physical media version?
It's hard because I remember Blu-ray so much better, than VHS. But I grew up with VHS, so I mean, there's something campy about it. How the film sounds itself, the audio is different, the visuals only so good, but there's something special about that filament on there. Something about rewinding it too. So I probably VHS to an extent, but
I can, even if you say Blu-ray, I get it. And especially because in this, now it's so crazy to me that it really stops with Blu-ray.
Yeah,
there's
it really
no real physical media anymore. And I never thought at that time when it first came out that we would get to a point we're at now. Yeah. When I was in college, though, we started thinking about it, and we started really a bunch of us, and I'm not saying it was my idea. A bunch of us were really in depth talking about what it would look like down the line, and we did come up with the streaming type of atmosphere. We were it's got to be playing on the computers, but they're going to figure out how to somehow put it onto your TVs, and let's say, and and then just stream whatever movie you want. You can pick, because it wasn't unheard back in 2007, 8. Yeah, you really weren't thinking that far ahead, because it was 9, 10 or 11 when Netflix came out with theirs. Yeah, but I knew it was farther down from when that conversation happened. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Because I don't even think Blockbuster was out of business yet.
No. Because I was still working at a mom and pop movie store in 2010. They were on their way out because of Redbox, but they weren't gone yet. So yeah, no.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. So if I had to pick a favorite of mine, I get it. I would say probably the best, of course, is Blu-ray or streaming, if you can do it in 4K or whatever. If you're talking about picture, but if you're talking about emotional or feel, or just has this vibe to it, I would say VHS, because I have so many stories that revolve around VHS tapes. And there, I know there are probably ears listening to this right now who just heard me say that, who are like, oh yeah. Promise you, there's no sex tape out there. That is not what I'm talking about. It's and I'm keeping that one a secret. But VHS tape wise, I had a large VHS, that's what we watched all the time. My dad would record every movie on TV.
Hell yes.
And my Back to the Future love came from that tape, and just watching that one over and over, because it was Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, and Star Wars A New Hope. And I would watch that tape from beginning to end if I had the time and there was nobody coming for the TV, just anytime I could. And that's why I've seen that movie so much, all of them. And it was funny because I had those, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see the the sequels.
Mhm.
Like I saw the Ghostbusters sequel like when it came out because it's 89. Like it was a big deal. But I didn't see the sequels for the others, like Empire Strikes Back or what was the other? Back to the Future Part 2 until about 1990.
Oh wow. Okay.
So like there was a big break in that. Now it's funny because I had seen Return of the Jedi probably the second most amount.
Okay.
Because we had those two taped.
Mhm.
So
There
like
you go. That's so cool.
so like I have a lot of really fun memories. That's how I watched so much of my stuff. My uncle was like addicted. He was a cinephile. So like he had thousands and thousands of recorded tapes just because he wanted to be able to watch any movie he could when he wanted to. His mind would be blown right now to streaming. Like he kept lists of everything too, and like little ratings of everything. Like it was like, so like I have good memories of VHS, but then like DVD is like really close for me too, because like going to those conventions to try and find those crazy movies that you can't find anywhere else, and having those moments and stuff like that. Like a lot of people don't understand, like conventions were different back in the day, and they were fun. And like I'm not saying they're not fun now. I'm not saying they're not fun now. Like you want a fun, like that's why I love Carolina Fear Fest, and this is not a plug or anything like that. It has that vibe that conventions used to have. It's not overcrowded. And every year it gets busier and busier. Like, and it still never feels overcrowded. Everybody's cool with each other. Everybody gets along, has a good time. It's all just fun. So, and like you can find shit like you used to be able to do back in the old thing. Like, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool cons. I think the market, like podcasting and all this other shit, is oversaturated a bit.
Yeah.
I think like a con at every corner is a little much. I wish, I don't know what I wish. And I'm not other than Carolina Fear Fest, I don't really do cons anymore. But it's, yeah, I don't know. It's just become a lot. Like, because what do you like from, and I realize we got off of physical media, but like just to ask this question, like I don't, because I work for Carolina Fear Fest and because I've just fallen in love with it. The first time going there was for work, and then like since then it was like, well, I love this. This is my family. I gotta go there. So now it's just a complete joy. So I'm not saying I have that. I can't have that at other conventions, but like I don't want to.
Right.
Like because I'm not going to go there and know anybody like I do there and have that family atmosphere. If I did, maybe I would, but I have never felt that at another convention. I've been to one.
Yeah.
So I don't mean to shit talk conventions. So you should go. You should support, help out. Meet a lot of these great stars. Buy a lot of great merch from vendors, and I'm not saying this facetiously. There's some awesome shit out there. Yeah. I felt like I plugged too much on CFF, so I had to.
CFF is awesome.
I'll tell you what. Why don't we get started on our top fives? Today I changed it too. It's not 5 takeaways anymore. We call it the top 5 countdown. We're going to do Tony Todd movies. We love Tony Todd, and we are sad to hear he passed. It just breaks my heart a little bit, but a lot of it. But he was just the man. And I put a parameter on mine today. I refuse to do TV because I can do a whole list of his TV shows, like the stuff he was on, and his roles on the shows always stood out. And I refuse to do horror movies on this list. There's too many. There's too many. And how do you not put like the top tier? But like, so I put the parameter on no horror movies or TV. So my top 5 non-horror movie or TV show. No, you should do horror movies.
I totally did.
But that was another reason I put the parameter on. Don't you think we're probably going to have the same ones on our list?
Maybe.
You might have like your stragglers, but I'm pretty sure like there's going to be some core values on there that were Tony Todd. But I wanted to also share something different because I knew you would be more horror. So maybe I go non-horror. So it's our top 5 Tony Todd movies. What's your number 5, sir?
My number 5 is the movie The Final Wish.
Very cool. When did that come out?
2018. So it's very recently. It has a woman from Insidious in there, the older lady as well.
Oh, I like her. Lynn Shay. Yeah, she's good. All right, my number 5 is Platoon. Great movie, great war movie.
What a good voice.
Yeah. What's your number 4?
Number 4, I'm not trying to plug it or anything, but I'm going to say Stream 1. Enjoyed that with Felissa Rose.
Stream, good one. No, I don't. It was a fun movie. I thought that honestly, I don't know if we reviewed it. We can sit down and review it because I do really enjoy the movie. I actually like it more than Terrifier movies, personally. I just thought there was too many cameos.
Way too many. There were so many actors. I was like, wait, what?
I was like, can we like I wish like some of them have maybe been saved as for the sequel, because like it deserves a sequel, but it was too long, too much. And at some point, when the father's kind of roaming around, he just keeps running into celebrities. It felt like a Scooby-Doo episode, but it is a great movie. Like, go check it out. Yes. But like that one thing was just like, but I think they were going because it is comedic horror, so I think they're sort of going for that vibe. So I hope I didn't put them. My number 4 is Colors, starring Robert Duvall, Sean Penn. Damon Wayans is actually in this movie. Damon Wayans Jr. Not Jr. I'm sorry, Damon Wayans. He was in this movie too. It's like one of his first roles. There's a bunch of people in this movie. It's about police and police brutality in Los Angeles, and also the gangs are running the streets, and like it's a really racially motivated movie. He was in it, did a great job in it. But it is a fantastic movie if anybody hasn't had a chance to check it out. And what's your number 3, sir?
Number 3 is going to be The Wishmaster.
Good one. That was a great movie.
I like that. He was in a lot of fun horror movies that were mainstream, but a lot that weren't technically mainstream, and I love him. He's a lot of gems.
Another reason too is like I would have had a hard time choosing the top 5 in this horror.
It's tough.
So number 3 for me is The Rock. That's right. He was great mercenary in this. I want to get paid. Loved him. Hell yeah. What is your number 2?
It was tough for number 2 because I was torn between Hellfest and Hatchet 2, but I went with Hellfest.
Good ones. Hellfest. I was thinking about it. I might watch Hellfest just because that was such a good one, and he was so good in it.
Yes. I just love his voice. Jesus,
man, he did have such a dominant, powerful voice, for sure. My number 2 is Lean on Me. I think he played Mr. Williams in that movie. I love that movie. Morgan Freeman played Joseph Clark, and it took place in New Jersey. This is like the most violent school in all of the country. Teachers were getting killed. Like, stuff was crazy. So they put Joseph Clark in there. He was a teacher, but he was very outspoken about his beliefs, stuff, played by Morgan Freeman. And he like takes back the school, and he uses force if he needs to. He does what he has to do. But in a year, he turned that school around from completely one of the most violent schools with nothing going for it to like high grades and kids having a chance to go to college. And there was a lot of turmoil there too. And I'm sorry, I know I'm over talking my movies and I feel bad, but like
you're good.
I feel like a lot of people are probably thinking horror when they watch this or click on it. So I do want to make sure, like, if you guys are into non-horror, you should go check out these movies too. But absolutely check out everything on Paul's list.
Yes.
Well, we'll see. We're getting a number. What's your number 1, man?
It has to be Candyman.
That would be my number 1.
His iconic role. And I had almost forgotten that he was in Monkey Paw's version of Candyman 2 with the cameo at the end. Yep. And I didn't see it listed when I looked him up, like quick glance, and I was like, that's kind of weird. But yeah, Candyman is always going to be that role.
I think they mean to keep that secret in case people haven't seen it yet. So that's why they keep it unlisted. So good job. I'm not cutting that out.
It's been out too long, you guys. Fuck y'all if you didn't.
We do have a 3-year rule. So it's 2021, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, so you're safe. You're good. Came out in September 2021. Our 3-year rule. You made it. My number 1 non-horror Tony Todd movie is The Man from Earth. It's an independent film. Look it up. Don't look up the sequel. But look it up. It's about a man who he was like a Homo sapien man who never died. He just lived from the beginning of time all the way till now. And like now he's a college professor. Nothing. He's not like the super smart guy. He's just an average guy who never died. He can't die. And he doesn't know why. There's nothing to it. But he tells his friends his story, and they're all college professors, and he's trying to pose it as a hypothetical. What if you knew somebody like this and this and this and this? And it touches down on a lot of different topics that I think people really enjoy. And I think Tony Todd gave an amazing performance in it. And I want to give him his credit. Go check it out. All right. So that's our list of Tony Todd movies. Thank you, my friend. Go check out his. Go check out mine if you want to. We appreciate you watching. And guys, just before we get started, on our review of Heretic, go check out our Patreon. That's the place to follow us, and also get you into our Discord so you can come hang out with us, talk with us there if you want to. I'm going to be doing more watch parties and stuff like that. I think I'm going to start throwing up more of the TV shows I watch as I'm working.
Heck yeah.
And just kind of hang out and talk to people while I'm working. So, because it doesn't really bother me. Like, I could turn the sound off for me on that and then just edit if I need to, but talk to people. But yeah, I'm going to try and like host that more. We are going to be changing the format a little bit. And we'll let you know how that goes. But I think movie reviews might be moving off of this, but we'll keep you guys posted on it. But the only best way to do that is follow us on Patreon for free. Or you could be joining one of the paid tiers. We appreciate it. It goes back into the channel, pays for the stuff that we do for this, and we appreciate you. So, but go follow us, because then you get our newsletter. We're doing another giveaway, the Terrifier cups from Fright Rags. Go check it out. If you are following us on Patreon for your paid, you are entered. So that's my pitch, and I'm sticking to it. Let's get to it. Heretic.
Yeah.
We're gonna review this. This is the only review we're gonna do today. For good reason. This is probably one we're gonna have a lot to talk about. This is an interesting one. I think we both really enjoyed it. This is a movie about where Hugh Grant plays Mr. Reed, an elderly gentleman who lives in a nice Utah town with his wife, and two missionaries from the Mormon church, two young ladies, go to tell them about their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He invites them in without that. They're supposed to meet the wife, but they just went in turns out there is no wife and they're locked in. This is gonna be a spoiler review. We're gonna get into it a lot, so I don't want to share it now, but first of all, where do we start? I don't know where to go down the gamut on this before we even talk about what we think of it.
Let's talk technical first, because I want to hear more of your expert opinion technically, what you liked about shots, because I know I love shit, but I want to hear you.
This movie I will say this, it's a good movie all the way through. I didn't like the tag on ending, but some people will, so I don't hate it either. Like when I say I didn't like it, it's just that like I could stop it right before that and I'd be fine. Like that would be perfect for me. And it really is just a quick thing. That's why I don't think I'm like mad at it. It just feels so like A24 tagged on. Right?
Yeah.
A24 loves to do that. They love to tag little stuff on. It feels like a really good movie all the way through. And it's like, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel like it should be here. But I'm sure the writers wrote it in. I'm just messing with them. But if this isn't all right, I'm going to make a bold statement because you said technical. I'm going to talk writing first.
Yes.
If this movie is not nominated, which it won't be, for an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay, unless it is adapted, but I don't think it is. I haven't heard anything about it being adapted. So like Best Original Screenplay, if it is not, then of course I can continue my crusade on saying that the Academy Awards is a bunch of horseshit fakeness and they don't do anything right, because this script and the way and Hugh Grant should be nominated for. I mean, I don't know. I might have to like the two young ladies who give the performance, but like I don't know their names.
Right.
And like if a performance completely knocks me down, I'm gonna find out your name.
Right.
So that's nothing against them. That's just a personal preference. Like that's a personal way I rate things. I don't care how anybody else does it. And I'm gonna go and look up both of them because they both gave insanely great performances. I just don't think that it was Oscar caliber, but if they keep it up,
all right,
I definitely see it. But Hugh Grant led that charge.
Oh my God.
Every scene was chewed up by him. And he delivered such an intense performance. I said this to you off the air. I'm saying it to you again. I think this is Hugh Grant in this role is as good or better, because you get more of it, than Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter.
I can agree. I can agree with that.
He as Mr. Reed, so let's go technical. So that I said about writing, the writing is phenomenal. The acting is phenomenal. There are three people. Well, actually, there's four people in this movie, and I didn't know. Well, there's a lot more, but like I'm talking about four main sort of characters in this movie. Topher Grace was the minister.
Yeah, I
didn't catch he had like blondish hair and he had like the glasses. I did not catch on to it being him. That was so odd. I loved it though. So technical wise, cinematography was phenomenal. Sound was phenomenal. The editing, first of all, cinematography. visual effects, writing, acting.
Mm-hmm.
Just for that one scene where you creep up with the camera into the model and see her running in the model just to see her run out of the model past you. Brilliant on all ends. On all fronts, that's brilliant in filmmaking. That's a technical achievement because it has such a great effect there. And it makes you feel the emotion because when she comes in, you get startled. You're like, she was just in the thing.
Right.
You're like, what's going on here? So basically, the whole story, whole premise is around religion. And he's putting these young ladies through the ringer and and testing their faith in huge ways. Really, really like in sinister ways too. Like, but the whole first hour of the movie is really just the three of them in a couple of different settings and him for the most part talking. Now, I don't want to take anything away from their performances because I did pull up the young lady's names. Sophie Thatcher plays Sister Barnes, who was the woman in black. And then Sister Paxton was Chloe East, who was the young lady who was like kind of the dorky one. I think they were trying to portray her as mousy, dorky, and kind of dumb. Mm-hmm. Which, let me tell you, when she starts analyzing everything and is spot on, and you're like, man, she's so good. Like, and I love that the filmmakers, this is a technical thing too, the filmmakers follow her eyes all of their eyes really well. Mm-hmm. You know, like when you see, again, it was Sophie Thatcher, Sister Barnes, and she discovers the candle. And that's not even like there's so many moments in this movie that make you go, wow. Like that is unnerving in a way that is, I'm just unsettled for life. Right. And that's I think that's the blueberry.
Yeah.
It's the blueberry candle because in the movie, for everybody who's watching and listening, like, and again, this is spoilers, guys. I think I mentioned in the beginning and it's definitely in descriptions and stuff and we'll talk about it. He says that his wife's making a blueberry pie and he's talking to the young ladies and he's in this nice living room setting. It's very unalarming and such. Then he comes in, he brings them drinks and there's like a candle on it. And then like they smell the blueberry. They're like so excited to have blueberry pie. I wanted blueberry pie. It was so good. And like the whole thing's going well. It's a pleasant conversation, but it's a testing conversation.
Yeah.
He has such a way about him. And the way he talks about things and the way he asks questions and kind of prods them. But it's unalarming. But at the same time, they're like, but is this right? Like, should we be talking like this? Or like, nothing sexual. Again, this is really about religion and discovering of religion. Okay, so to answer that technically, like, and then to bring them into the back room that's religious. You know, the one where it's like, well, I don't really know much about religion. When we talk about it. And then bring him back to his little church. It was such a great flip that they did. So technically this movie is a marvel. This is one of the best horror movies of the year, one of the best movies of the year too. Absolutely. So far for me. Sorry, I lost my breath on that because I talked so goddamn much. Please talk about the technical side on your end.
Oh, I mean, so I'm trying to study, if you will, or study movies better to watch the camera angles, and those camera angles were so telling just in themselves of, the power of play, who was bigger in the shots, who was taking up more of the shot, who's the higher person in the shot they did a marvelous job depicting. So you already knew, like you could have watched that with no words, no audio and known essentially who was in a power play and who was dominating those scenes. And they shot that beautifully. Like you said, they could follow the eyes. Like I almost want to watch it at home when it comes out with nothing on, just to watch them and really just be forced to watch all the visuals because they did a great job, shot for shot. I was in awe of this movie. I was like, holy fuck, why are more people not talking about this? It was amazing. I was blown away by it. Hugh Grant is terrifying in the fact that he's able to almost belittle their mindsets, but also encourage it, but also tell them what's up. And it's just, it really makes you think about someone like Charles Manson or any of these actual serial killers. And it's like that, how he portrayed that. That's 100% how I envisioned those gentlemen. Just enough of a, almost an asshole where you're like, but then you're like, oh, but you're teaching me something, but you're also drawing me in at the same time. It's like, that's someone I could see most people falling for. So he did a great job.
And not to step on that, to go back to the Hannibal Lecter thing, is like that was the thing about Hannibal Lecter. Like he was very enticing. He was very like drew you in and very charming. And I love that about his character, but you didn't get enough of it. With Hugh Grant, you get a whole movie of him just like everything he's doing, and it's so methodical and it's so thought out. And I just thought that was just a really beautifully told story with him at the helm of like what's going on in the catastrophe of all of this.
Yes.
There's a scene I want to talk about and see what you think of it. The Monopoly scene.
Right.
So he brings him into his like a little church room or whatever, and he has him sit down on the pews. He's like, just listen to me. He's like, you and in this place where they feel at home in like a church type of setting with an altar there, they're sitting in pews. They should feel safe. This is religion. This is what they know, and they're desperately trying to. And the thing I love about their performance is they're calm the whole time. They never freak out. They never like. When she lashes out at him, she's trying something. She's not. The only other time they freak out is trying to get up the steps when he's gone, but it's not a freak out. They're racing up the steps because they know they have a limited amount of time to do what they need to do. So like again, like everything on their end is like methodical, but it's like received. It's like, what's he talking about? Where are we going with this? And the fact that he's like, you can leave anytime you want. You just have to leave out of the back. You gotta go through this door if you don't believe in God. You have to go through this door if you do believe in God. Oh, and does their faith get them in trouble?
True.
And that's what I liked about the sister Paxton character too. She was the mousy one who was Chloe East played her. Again, I'm not pretending I know this. I pulled it up. She's sort of the lead in it with him, and don't take any sort of like, don't take that as a hidden message or anything like that. But she is sort of the lead. She plays like this really smart character. They both do, but she like is like secretively smart. She has a history that they don't ever really kind of let you know. But she's very clever. She catches on to things, and she's got a great mind for piecing the puzzle together. And every time she gets a little bit more, and now that's what makes it so interesting about Hugh Grant's character being in control the whole time, is that by the time you get to the end and she's explaining the end and realizes it's almost like a video game in a weird way. She learns so much all the way through the journey that by the time you get to the end and she's explaining exactly what religion is and all this other stuff and what she's learned and how she learned it, it's really kind of very interesting to see the levels they take as you go through it. What about you? What do you think about that Monopoly scene in particular? I thought him explaining religion through that, and if you want to take it away and tell them about it.
I really enjoyed it. It kind of reminded me, I don't know if any of you guys as listeners have watched it, but I remember watching Zeitgeist. If you ever watched that, I guess documentary, if you will, that came out, early 2000s. Just talking about all the religions and how similar a lot of them are, honestly. Anyway, so it was nice having that regurgitated, I think, in a very easy way that most people can understand. Because, I mean, who doesn't know Monopoly? So I think that was a good visualization for him to show those girls that, but also as an audience member, I think for some people that aren't necessarily super spiritual or even, care, let's say, I think it was a good enough representation that you don't have to be religious to understand what he's saying, that he, Monopoly. And it was a very good way of showing what he's trying to say.
It was all the beautiful levels of what he was doing too. And like, I caught on to it, and like I could see why maybe somebody who might be religious might not catch on to it as quick. And I'm not that's not a dumbification in any way. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but like to where he was going in terms of in that instance where it was like they're all copies of copies of copies, because he doesn't let you know right off the bat,
right?
And he does it in such a subtle way with the music. Well, you remember, you don't know this song, you've heard it before, and then he talks about Creep, and then when he plays that later, and like everything is sort of a copy everywhere. So, and like he has all the pictures up of all the copies of like different religions and all the names, and like as he's explaining them. But when he pulls out the Monopoly games, so he talks about the three big religions: Christianity, Judaism, and Muslim. And he talks about those three, and then he discusses it in a way that's like, well, we know Judaism, I guess, was the first one. I think he said Judaism, right? Yeah, I think he said Judaism that's like the farthest back or whatever we can find. And then I think they put Christianity next. And then, I exactly know how I laid it out, but the way he was saying it was like they're all copies and copies of copies, and he put this game called Landlords,
which is a real game.
Yeah, no, I looked it up.
Yeah, same. That's like after the movie, I was like,
that's cool. It's like so. I mean, that's not cool that they had their game stolen, but it was like, and he's explaining, he's like, these women came up with this game, Landlords, whatever. I can't remember the name of it back in the day, only for somebody to see it, love it, patent it, bring it to Marker Brothers, and make it Monopoly. And then like the next, like this, and then now you have Monopoly, whatever, and then like you have this, and then, like it was just. I'm trying not to do a service on here because I want you to go see it. But by the end of that conversation, I'm like, God damn, like they should be showing this like on the big, like everywhere, like just this conversation.
Right.
But this movie is good. But by the time, what did you think about the back half of it once they get down into, it's sort of, I don't want to say it's a lair, but it's sort of like this spot where he keeps these women that he calls prophets. Which again, there's more of a twist to it. When you think this, like, we're not even spoiling anything, because when you think this movie zigs, it zags and then zigs again, and then like throws you for another loop and takes you down all these things, but it's never doesn't make sense, which I think I love the most. So what did you think about the back half though? Because I didn't love the back half.
I'd say if I split up into quarters, that last quarter, that's where A24 did what A24 always does, and that's where they lost probably 2 points. This probably would have been solid 8.5 for me before that end. Mm-hmm. To me personally, that's the only part I felt like the writer or the director, whoever, just kind of took a cop-out way of making you wonder what actually happens. And since we said spoilers are around, did she actually die? That's why she's seen the butterfly, or is that her friend coming back as a butterfly?
Why did it disappear? Is it actually a simulation? So they left it, to me, they left it too open. What I would have done was, like, first of all, get the simulation thing out of there. Like I'm not, it worked when he was talking about it.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're still kind of kicking, because then that I know, and I realize why they do it, because it's like, well, was he right about any of them? And it's like, yeah, no, I don't need that. I didn't even need the butterfly.
No,
I didn't even need her to say that about the butterfly.
Nope.
That's the only thing that was like, I wish you didn't say it. And like, I get what you're trying to say, or maybe their thing is it is a simulation. That's what this is. So
possibly.
I don't like again. It wasn't a great ending for me. I would have ended it before that. Like she just got out, and then that was. Because then it still leaves it open. You're not answering any questions. People would still be like, well, is it real? Is it not real? What happened? Like, what's going on here? It's crazy. That felt very tacked on, but it is in there. They talk about it. But even when she tells that story, I'm just like, I don't know. It's nice. Yeah. It's a nice thing. I guess. But yeah. Overall, though, like my rating for this was 3.5, and you gave it a 3, right? So out of 5. I did enjoy this. I hope you guys go check it out. Paul, I think you enjoyed it too. I think it was one of the best movies of the year. Keep in mind, it hasn't been a great year.
That's true too.
But if this was a good year of movies, this would be well done in them. You would know Heretic.
Yes.
People are going to talk about Hugh Grant's performance if they see this movie for sure. Everybody's performance was great, except for Topher Grace. I didn't know it was him.
I had tilted sideways. I had asked Matt about it. I was like, "Is that Topher?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, I was just making sure you look, you might notice it."
That's the second celebrity surprise from a horror movie this year, because the first one is Strange Darling, because Giovanni Ribisi was the cinematographer on that movie. And it's just like, it was just like kind of out of place. Like I wouldn't expect to hear Giovanni. I think he did a great job. I like the movie, but no, I just didn't expect to hear him,
Right.
But that's our ratings for, thanks for checking this out for Heretic. Go check it out. We're going to talk about mixed movie pick and wrap this bad boy up, if you will. And that is from 1954. I chose Carmen Jones. This is also our Snobs Film History Classic Film Review for this week, so we're going to have full information on there. We're going to be talking about it. I'll give my review over on that. But it is a fantastic musical piece starring Dorothy Dandridge, and it follows African Americans during wartime. Just trying to get through a lot of personal tragedies that are going on. Dorothy Dandridge does an amazing job in this. Harry Belafonte's in it, does a great job. Otto Preminger is the director of this movie. Go check out our Snobs Film History Classic Film Review, and definitely check out the movie Carmen Jones from 1954. Thank you guys for being here, being part of Snob Nation. Of course. Paul, you want to say anything before we get going, my friend?
Yeah, as you guys see, even with Mick, flu season's going around. Make sure to, stay hydrated, wash those hands, take care of yourselves, don't overdo it, keep watching, keep listening, keep loving the magic of movies, and everyone make sure to get ready for Thanksgiving because I'm preparing already. So.
I love it. Yes. We're going to be doing our next live episode. We'll have an episode next week, pre-recorded. And our next live episode is going to be on Thanksgiving week, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that. You got to follow us. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know we got this stuff coming out. We got lots of fun stuff coming. Make sure you're on Patreon because we have special podcasts on there for free or paid tiers, all different. But we're going to be having a special live show coming to the free tier as well. So make sure that you guys are following us over there. We'd really appreciate it. I'm trying, with all the FTC rules and stuff that are going on, I'm trying to cut out sponsorships right now. I'd rather entertain, bring it to you guys, but we do need to, keep it going. So if you do find it in your heart to support us over on Patreon, that's our only sole source. We do appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I do appreciate you guys being here, being a part of it, and just joining up with the Snob Nation because we love movies and we know you do too. So join up there. Thank you guys. Remember to be kind, stay classy, and take care of yourselves because that's important. And I'll talk to you soon.